Ken in San Diego, California writes to me, "Hey Paul, I listen to classic rock from the 60s and 70s. High-end audio systems can reveal limitations in the recordings. In addition, the recording engineers decades ago mixed those master tapes with the assumption that they would be listened to with the equipment of that era. Finally, I'm not interested in so-called audiophile recordings of musicians that I've never heard of." What should I do? Should I get a mass market system and forget about high end? Oh, I think you should go out and get a bag of weed and just smoke it up. That's a really interesting question. It is true that music of the 60s and 70s was really the beginning of when I got involved. I mean, I first got involved in recording and whatnot in 72, 73. And back then, I mean, this was all new stuff. It was all, of course, tape recorders. And I worked with Georgia Moroder over at Musicland Studios, and we made some great recordings. But it was all played back on the systems, as Ken brings up, of the time. And you know, some of the bad recordings back then sounded really bad back then. So I don't think a lot of that's changed. But this brings up the old classic problem that the better the system is, the more easily you can hear things that are good, and the more easily you can hear things that are bad. And if what you really are looking for is just to enjoy the music without having to be judgmental on the sound quality and all that, I would not go to a mass market system, because I don't think the downside, it's like eating oatmeal every day. It all tastes okay for the first week. After a while, it's like, ugh. I think what I would probably wind up doing, kind of what I do, is at home, I have a middle of the road high-end audio system. And that works really well, because we listen to all kinds of stuff. We listen to 60s and 70s music. We listen to jazz. We listen to Octave Records recordings, and they all sound great. I can hear flaws, but they don't bother me as much. Like if I listen to it upstairs on the big high-end audio system, people do that all the time. They go, "Oh yeah, I want to hear my favorite, Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent," and you put it on and like, woo. That is so compressed, and it sounds like a wall of, I don't know what it sounds like, and they don't enjoy it, because it really reveals the entire recording. So my system right now is a pair of Kef LS50s, soon to be a pair of Aspen FR5s, which are very revealing and very nice, but in my room and driven with reasonable electronics. In my case, I use a Strata, a PS Audio Strata, which is our integrated amp. And I don't think you're going to have that kind of problem. I think because we don't listen critically. We listen in the background. We crank the music up and cook and do whatever. And I don't think you would have that problem if you did that. So that's what I would do. I would go for a mid-level high-end audio system. I definitely would not go out and just buy a Pioneer receiver and a pair of crap speakers and hook them up, because I think you're going to wind up losing interest in that. Just my humble opinion. That ain't so humble. Thanks. Good luck, Ken. Bye.